What's going on, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets. I'm here with my buddy Riaz. We're giving you guys our first look slash first impressions on the Draftkings slate for this Sunday. We are covering the early games as well as the 4 o'clock games here. Also, there's a Prize Picks video coming out right after this, so if you guys want to check that out too. The first one that we did awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for the support on that. Let's continue the support. The subscribers are going up. That's awesome to see as well. So let's keep the support going. We're going to keep cranking out videos. We're doing research. We're getting helped out. We're helping you guys out. You guys are helping us out. It's a great community we got going here. And Riaz, I know he's super grateful about it too. So he's going to kick us off with quarterbacks for Sunday. Let's hear it, Riaz.
Yeah, starting off with someone who's priced at 7K, Matthew Stafford. Going against the Arizona Cardinals, we've seen over the last couple of weeks so far that the Cardinals give up a lot of points, and Matthew Stafford really hasn't played a slouch team. They played the Bears. He put up 27.3. He played the Colts. Kind of a not that great of a game at 18.2. But then he played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he just exploded for 4 touchdowns, 32.5. I think he's going to do the same kind of thing here against the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to have to put up a lot of points. So I really like Matthew Stafford here.
Matt Stafford's definitely awesome play. The Rams obviously got a lot of things going here. I saw him at first place in just about every power ranking that came out this past weekend. I love the Rams here on a high game total. Arizona especially does give up a lot of points, like you said. A guy here that's going to be a little bit under-owned that I kind of like here. He's having a kind of an off year. That's why he's going to go under-owned, is Ryan Tannehill going against the Jets. The Jets are at home, and they give up a lot of points. They're not a very good team. And I think you can kind of see where Tennessee gives up a lot of points too, and I think this is a spot where not necessarily they're going to be throwing the ball a ton, but I think if Tannehill throws for a couple touchdowns, keeps his interception rate down, he does have a little bit of a rushing floor too. I mean, a rushing ceiling. He ran for 56 yards last game. He's always viable to kind of sneak one in on a little RPO or a QB sneak. Definitely a contrarian play here, Ryan Tannehill. He's got pass catchers you can stack him up with, and there's not necessarily a bring back stack here on the Jets. Maybe someone like Elijah Moore, who's definitely like really low owned and definitely underpriced. Not underpriced, but definitely low on the price at 3,800 is someone there. Other than that, Riaz, we got killed on the Justin Fields play. That game was horrible for him. He's still at 5,200. I don't think we're going to go back there. I think you can agree. That's just a Chicago offense I'm not really liking.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Matt Nagy came out and said the starting job's open for all three, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, and Nick Foles. So that's not an offense I'm looking to touch this week. And just to go on the Tannehill pick, I mean, it's great to go against the Jets. They look awful this year. They got shut out against the Broncos. Zach Wilson's definitely not the guy. But it's an early season, but I'll probably be targeting a lot of people in this game.
Other than that, there's a quarterback that I kind of like here who's definitely going to be under-owned again. Not a team that gives up a crazy amount of points so far, but I like Taylor Heineke going against Atlanta, and he's priced at 5.9. He's had an all right season so far. 8 rushing attempts last game, and he only threw the ball 24 times. I'm kind of iffy on that rushing game. That's why I kind of like this play because I don't know about Gibson and McKissick. I don't know what they got going there, but he has pass catchers, and I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the game total is on here, but he's kind of just a little sneaky play. I like a stack here with Mclaurin, who's definitely under-owned on Roto Grinders. They got Terry McLaurin at like 2% owned. He's at like 6.8, and obviously we've seen him break out for a 30-point game already this season. If there's any other quarterbacks you like here, Riaz, let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on Kirk Cousins here for a little bit. He's priced at 6.4, so right around the same range as the 2 quarterbacks you were talking about. But Kirk Cousins has had an unbelievable season so far. He has 8 touchdown interceptions. They're playing against the Browns, which is a pretty tough matchup, but they just played Seattle and just crushed them. It wasn't even a game. Kirk Cousins has all the weapons. Even when Dalvin Cook is out, he still has Alex Madison, which is awesome. He was very involved in the passing game, which is great to see because Dalvin Cook is always involved. But Kirk Cousins has so many weapons with Thielen and Jefferson. He's just a great quarterback this year, and I think this is going to be a pretty high scoring game. I'm pretty sure the over under is at 51.5. So, I mean, you look at those stats and how high scoring this game's going to be. I mean, at 6'4", it's hard to pass up Cousins with the season he's had so far.
Yeah, definitely someone that's going to be low owned. He's had an awesome season so far, a season that I have not expected, especially no interceptions. He's playing out of his mind, and the pass catchers there are great too. So Thielen, Jefferson, even KJ Osborne, you got some stacks there. Also some bringbacks in that high game total. So that's a good spot to start your lineup there. Obviously, you got the top guys. We don't like to pay really down for quarterbacks, especially this season. It's not been our MO. But, I mean, someone like Josh Allen, too, going against Houston, they're supposed to be blowing out Houston. That's someone where he's going to be high owned, but I don't think he's going to put up the fantasy points this week. Someone like Patrick Mahomes, though, going against Philly. Right now, they're 8.5-point favorites. On some sites, they're 7. They opened at 6. But some of these guys with this rushing floor and this rushing ceiling, like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, like these are guys that can win you tournaments still, and they got pass catchers. So don't be scared to pay up for some of those guys too. And you could definitely find lower salary guys at the wide receiver position who are still getting salary. Sometimes it's better to pay up at a spot where you're going to get those points rather than taking a risk at a quarterback where someone like Josh Allen smashes his slate for 44 points. So that's just my thoughts on quarterback. Running back. There's a couple dudes here we like. We're going back to the well on someone who was under-owned last week. He had a rough start to the season. We're back on him. High game total, Riaz. Let's talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire did exactly what we needed him to do. He got involved in the passing game. He had 17 attempts, had 100 yards rushing. It was just awesome to see. His price really didn't jump up, which is awesome to see. But other than that, I don't know if he's going to be in all of my lineups, but I'm going to have him in quite a few.
Yeah, definitely someone. We're targeting these high game scripts. He's someone that he had the 100-yard bonus last game, and he did get one in the end zone. And whatever. At this point, he might be touchdown viable, but we'll see what happens. Clyde Edwards, I don't think he's going to be high owned again. Had a good game, but there's also some dudes here. I know you like one specifically who on Roto Grinders is severely under-owned. They got him at 1% owned. I don't know if it's even a glitch or what, but Riaz, talk about how you like Zack Moss this week.
Yeah, I love Zack Moss in this game. Yes, there's David Singletary, but Zack Moss did not play week 1. He was a healthy scratch. It was a coach's decision, which kind of threw everybody off. But since he came back week 2, he had 16.4 against Miami and played Washington last week and had 18.1. Those are two defensives that are very good, and to see him also really involved in the pass game, which is awesome for DFS, Kings, FanDuel, whatever you're playing. At 5'3", in a game script where they're going to need him to run the ball because they're going to be up so big, Zack Moss is a great play this week.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns in the first game, which kind of got him there. 8 attempts on 26 yards, and then he caught a touchdown again week 3 against Washington. But you got to think these are blowout wins here that Buffalo is getting. They're supposed to be blowing out Houston. I think they're like 17.5-point favorites. So this is a spot too where just if you kind of go with what's the trend, I mean, he's looking like he's going to have another decent game at 5'3", decent spot. He's at the same kind of price as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Some of the higher price guys, Henry. 8-8, he's really got to get you a couple touchdowns to get there. He did have a lot of targets for Derrick Henry in week 2, 6 targets, and then he kind of went back down again in week 3. Someone like Chubb in the high game total. Kareem Hunt's obviously there, but he's going to break one loose for sure. Barkley's probably going to be the highest owned on the slate along with Madison. Someone I like here is Naji Harris. I still don't think people believe in Pittsburgh. I'm losing faith in them too. I'm not saying that they're viable to win the game, but listen to this. 19 targets. 19. That's absurd. There's top wideouts in this league who don't even get 19 targets and also 14 rushing attempts. He plays just about every single snap. Sometimes you got to just play great players when they're there. I mean, not saying he's going to go back to 19 targets. He might not even get 12, but still 10 along with the rushing attempts. And he scored 31 points without even scoring a touchdown. So he priced up 200 more than last week. Naji Harris is someone here that, like I said, I don't care who they're playing. If he's getting this type of volume, I mean, you got to just stick with it. Like I said, great players are great players. The only other person that I kind of like here, um, down low, is someone like Chubba Hubbard in a high game total. We're still kind of waiting on some McCaffrey news. I don't know, Riaz, is that broke yet? Is he out officially or no?
He's out. They did not place him on injury reserve, so he should be back within the next couple of games, but he is out.
So, yeah. So he's there. He's probably going to be a little chalky, but he is viable. Riaz, why don't you just get us into wide receivers? There's a lot of running backs here we can talk about for days, but same with wide receivers. But I know we like a couple guys specifically, so let me know who you like.
Yeah, I like Michael Pittman. It's He's in a great spot once again. Um, T.Y. Hilton's not coming back anytime soon. I don't think he should. Uh, it was shocking to see that Carson Wentz did end up playing last week, which is awesome for Pittman. He's like the number one guy there. The last two games, he's had 12 targets in both games. Uh, he had a slow rookie season, but it's the sophomore season, and he's ready to go this year. I don't think Miami's really that great of a defense. They're good, but I think Pittman gets it done here. He doesn't really explode for big yardage games, but he's a great dump down guy. He's got the speed to break some tackles. So I like Pittman here at 5'4".
We're not exactly sure what his ceiling is yet, especially because he's never found the end zone yet. Week 2 he smashed for that price. He's definitely climbing up there, but we'll see how it goes. 12 targets is 12 targets. Like I said, some of these high volume guys at that price, you got to just go to, my opinion. Other than that, I touched on Terry McLaurin at 6'9". He's someone that you can kind of stack with. I kind of like that game. Other people might be fading that game, but he's someone that definitely catches a lot of balls, sees a lot of targets. Kind of went down in the Buffalo game. That's a tough defense, but we'll see. People are going to be off of him, but he definitely has a high ceiling. Someone that we like here who's way low. Let me see what he is priced at. I believe he's in the 4s, and that is Jalen Waddle at 4.9. Back in that Miami Colts game, we don't love this game. It's definitely not the flashiest game on the slate, but Waddle is someone who he's been at 16 points, 9 points, 17 points, called 10 points in week 2. He's definitely getting the volume, even without Tua. I think he's getting more volume with Jacoby Brissett in there. So he's someone that we like here. He's not getting a lot of yards, but he is getting the targets, and that's kind of what matters here. We like the volume. And if he sees the end zone, that's just a bonus at 4.9. I mean, I think you like him too, Riaz, don't you?
Yeah, without a doubt. At 4.9, you need him to get around 10 to 12 points to hit the 3 times value that you need here for NFL. He's going to get about 6-8 catches, 50 yards. Perfect bonus if he gets a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think the Dolphins are going to play down. This is a must-win game for the Colts, so I think he's going to get a lot of targets here. And Jacoby Brissett really loves throwing it to him, so I'm going to ride with him.
Other guys, too, someone like Cortland Sutton in a game who saw a lot of targets in week 2 and the targets went down. These are some of the guys that you got to kind of look out for, who've had big weeks, but now they're slipping. Another guy who's going to be really high owned is Robert Woods at 5.3. I played him last week in some of my lineups. Obviously, I was let down in a lot of those lineups. The target volume hasn't been there besides for week 2. But I think we're going to get to a spot where it's like, okay, Cooper Kupp is smashing. He's destroying teams. Let's possibly double him, and maybe Robert Woods can start to eat. I mean, we're waiting for a big game from him. Now they got Sean Jackson in the mix. Van Jefferson is still there, and he's playing a majority of the snaps as well. But Robert Woods is someone at 5.3 who's going to be high owned, but someone who's definitely not a bad low play.
No, not at all. But you want to talk about somebody else who's been smashing every week, and I don't think anybody even is paying attention to him.
Who's that?
And that's Brandon Cooks. It does not matter that Davis Mills is his quarterback. I mean, I think I could throw the ball and he'd have 10 catches. He's just a guy that's just matchup proof, quarterback proof. It doesn't even matter. He goes out, gets a gazillion targets, catches almost all of them, and somehow he comes out of the game with over 100 yards receiving almost every single time.
Yep.
He's got 23 targets. He has 322 yards. He is not a guy that you think is going to score a touchdown every week because he's not. He's definitely not touchdown dependent, but he gets the catches and the yards that you need. And at 6'4" against Buffalo, they're going to be down. Davis Mills is going to be chucking the ball. So I like Brandon Cooks here.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks. I got him in all my season long leagues. I'm definitely ecstatic to have him in my season longs. It's just a matter of, it sucks to say, but he is very injury prone, and I don't know when that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I definitely don't wish injury on any players, but because he is having an awesome season, and that's a game script where they're going to have to throw the ball. So Cooks might be, sub 10% owned. We'll see where he's at. Like Cooks there too, Riaz. Someone like DK, still waiting for him to break the slate. He's going against San Francisco, where some of their corners are banged up. That could be a spot. Lockett, he got banged up at the end of that Vikings game. He looks like he's ready to go and play. Diggs is someone who sees a million receptions, but they're projected to win. Hopkins in that high game total. Cooper Kupp is someone who's going to see the end zone once, maybe twice, possibly three times. Who's going to get 15 targets, and he's going to be the highest owned on the slate. And Hill is ready to smash as well. Either way, that's our look at wide receivers. We're going to get into this tight end position, and then we are going to wrap this up after we talk about a couple tight ends. So, Riaz, who do you like here?
I'm just going to go back to the well. I play him every week. I can't seem to fade him. Such a homer pick, but I'm going to go back to Noah Fant. At 5'3", KJ Hamler out for the season with a torn ACL. It's only going to bring more targets. With Jerry Jeudy still being out, we have Tim Patrick. We have Cortland Sutton. We just signed David Moore. I'm not sure if he's going to play. So it's going to be the big three for Denver against Baltimore. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I think. It's going to be a lot of defense, but Noah Fant, he's a tough tight end to guard. You got your Kittles, your Wallers, but Noah Fant's right up there as well. And at 4.3, he's severely underpriced, and I mean, it's just tough not to play him at that price.
Yep. Noah Fant for sure. Not a game that I love, but we're waiting for him to have a big one. We know he's capable of it. He's a good athlete. We're waiting for him to have a big game, 3.5 in week 3. Didn't look pretty, but that was a game where they were just destroying the Jets the entire time. You kind of got to watch that one out. Someone like Tyler Higbee is here, and he's viable. Plays literally every single snap. Only saw 5 targets. One of them he caught for a touchdown. 15 points there. Not bad for a tight end. Depending on where you're going to get your value of wide receivers, we talked about a couple wide receivers who are low. Someone like Waddle, someone like Cooks. So this is why you can pay up at tight end. Don't be nervous to pay up for a guy like Travis Kelce. He's going to get you there every week. He's proven that year after year, 5 straight years. This is going to be the 6th straight year. Don't be nervous to play someone like Kelce, especially in tournaments too. Obviously, he's always cash viable, but someone like Kelce in tournaments, when people are on 10% on Tyler Higbee and he goes for 5 points, well, that's 10% of the slate that you're already ahead on. Kyle Pitts is someone where I think people are just going to continue to go back to, waiting for him to have a big week. I'm right there with you. It's going to come eventually. I think we both know that. Someone again in that Indianapolis and Miami game, Mike Gesicki, game went to overtime, just basically stretched the entire overtime out. Saw 12 targets, caught for 86 yards, 18.6 fantasy points. We kind of both like him here. I think he is. I think he's viable in that tight end spot at 4,000 for sure. If you're trying to save a little bit of a salary. Hawkinson played like shit. I don't love that game. Detroit and Chicago kind of seems like just a slugfest. I'm not loving it there. But you like Kittle. He's questionable. I like Kittle. He's at 5'9". I think Kyle Shanahan knows they have to get him involved at this point if they want to start, beating some of these good teams in the league. So give me your thoughts on Kittle here at 5'9".
Yeah, I like George Kittle this week against the Seahawks. He's day-to-day with a sore calf. I don't think that's really going to play a role in anything. He might miss a couple practices, but he's going to be out there Sunday, regardless if he's sore or not. Especially at 5'9", it's a big price decrease from Travis Kelce, and you're kind of almost getting the same kind of value at a discount. They use George Kittle all over. He's just a safety blanket for Jimmy G, and he's a monster. you saw at the end of the Packers game when they were driving down to take the lead until they lost with that field goal. He just rips off a 40-yard run with a little check down pass. So he kind of does it all. And at 5'9", I mean, it's kind of hard not to play him.
Yeah. I like Kittle here too, especially if you're trying to save a little bit of a salary. If you're paying up at quarterback, maybe you're kind of, maybe you're going Murray and you're going Hopkins and you're bringing it back. With someone else in that game, like a Robert Woods or something like that, and you try to save a little bit of salary. Kittle's definitely a spot where I'm going to be plugging him in to a majority of my lineups. I like him here. I don't think he's going to be at this price. I think he's the second best tight end in the league, if not the first, when you consider blocking and everything else he does on the field. So that's it. I mean, Riaz, if you got anything else left to say before I wrap this video up, let me know. We can kind of look at some other guys. If you're all good, let me know.
No, I'm good. I'm definitely excited to see that Gesicki's back in that Miami offense. I've been kind of waiting for him all year to produce, and it's great to see that it takes Tua getting hurt for Gesicki to be back in the action.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, Prize Picks video also out tonight. It'd mean the world to us if you can check that out. Also, subscribe to the channel. Things have been going well over here. We've been busting our ass trying to get these videos out for you guys. Riaz works full time. I work full time. We're both busy. Actually, we're both sick right now, so we are, we're doing this for you guys. It helps us out. Like I said,
Jordan flu game.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it helps us out. We're becoming better DFS players every day. Riaz is like 26 and 11 on his picks this year. He's been killing it. Check those picks out on Twitter. Yeah, we're winning money over here. So don't get your picks anywhere else. Like I said, come to us and we'll help you get in that green. So peace out, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.